Hi, I'm Robert Rodriguez from Temple, Texas, and this is Dirty Rob's Rat Shop. What I did here was I wanted to design a car shop that made hot rods out of rusting hulks. And in the background here, you'll see a rusting hulk that's usually out in the desert. That's where a lot of the car builders would find old vehicles, and they restore them and restore all the metal work to make running vehicles, running frames, bodies, etc. And so what they would do is, for these cars, they would get these bodies, restore the bodies and the frames, put new tires on them, new engines, make them all souped up, and they're really unsafe, but they're really fun to look at. They're really fun to drive, from what I understand. And they also slam them to the ground, which means that they make them as low to the ground as possible and still be drivable. Some of them, as you'll see, like the brown and yellow one, that's actually a Cat diesel engine, a Caterpillar diesel engine. And so they'll throw diesel engines that are way too big for the car, but they'll put them in there. One of the gray ones is actually has a red diesel engine in there, and then all the rest are like V8 hot rod engines. But what they do is they put these big engines in there, and it's really cool, and they're really loud. They don't have mufflers and such, so they're really loud.
People know when they're coming.
Exactly. And then, but when I was building the cars, I wanted a shop. And so I decided to build a garage and light it up so people could see it. And it's a typical shop. It has, the tools. It has extra tires, oil, things like that, and boxes of parts, etc. And then also it has a little office. And what I have in the garage now is an 18 or a tractor for a tractor trailer, and it's also been made as a rat rod, so it sits real low to the ground as well. And unfortunately, you can't see it, but the hood opens up and the top comes off, where you see the driver compartment as well as the sleeper cab in there as well, and those can open up. All the doors can be opened on the cars, with the exception of one car. All the wheels can be posed to look like they're turning, so you can see that they're turned, etc. And so what I'm depicting is like a kind of a car show, little hanging out, got a pizza truck. And if you notice, the pizza truck is a Lego set, but I actually modified it by 2 studs wider, so that way it fits with what I have. My favorite thing out of the whole thing is the guy running out of the outhouse because there's a snake in there. I also produced a logo, or had a logo produced for me, just to fit the theme with the sign, and made decals for people to take, and so that way it draws interest, etc. So yeah.
Yeah, I love what you've done here with the desert scene and achieving that and look very nice with like the cactus and the sand and everything, and then even the building over here. How'd you decide on kind of that roof design there with that type of piece?
Well, part of that was like from various other builders out there. I wish I could give them all credit because I just don't know their names, but I saw how they used 1x2 grill pieces, and what that shows is more of a rusty look, where the metal is dark, and then the reddish brown represents the rust. That's why the cars are primarily brown, etc., because they actually are rusting hulks. It's that they don't worry too much about paint jobs or anything like that. They just build them, and once they're happy with them, they stop. They don't worry about painting them in blue or yellow or whatever. They just worry about, does the engine run? Does it run loud? Does it run fast? And they put good tires on them, etc. So yeah, and I'm fascinated with it. And someday I would like to build one, because a lot of times you can build some of these cars for probably less than $5,000 in some cases, but they're bare bones. They're not real safety oriented, etc. But they're really fun to drive.
It's not a family car.
No, it's not a family car. But you'll see that on some of them, or 3 of them, I have 4 doors on them, and 4 minifigures can fit in them. And so it's a tight fit, but that's the way they are. On a real rat rod, they would come up to probably our chest as far as height. They sit so low to the ground. Yeah.
Well, that's fascinating. It's so interesting to see these different car designs like this. I think you captured it well in Lego, so thank you so much.
Oh, no worries. Thank you.